And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. And I know Red Bull is the ride or die sponsor of the McMorrises as we bring in Craig McMorris, proud Sasky. There he is from his beautiful home in Whistler, BC, broadcaster, snowboarder, and Clark says the next Prime Minister of Canada. How you doing, Craig?
If I want to get that last one, I need to learn French very, very fast.
You better get on it.
But thanks, Clark.
Exactly.
I'm doing
Craig
wonderful.
McMorris.
Whistler. It's nice. It's
go ahead.
Beautiful outside, and I was enjoying that chat with Damon Allen there. That was very cool.
Well, thank you, Craig. He's just a super cool guy, and he's got a lot of wisdom to drop on all kinds of things, but particularly this. So before we go into the meat of the interview, how are things with you on day 82 of the pandemic?
Well, it's actually pretty good here. Whistler is kind of really flattened the curve, in my opinion. The restaurants are opening at 50% capacity. I mean, it's an outdoor community, so playing tennis, going on the lake, going on hikes, all that kind of stuff, you haven't really been barred from doing because it's very solitary in nature. So we've been pretty lucky up here. I thank my lucky stars. I'm quarantining in probably one of the best places you can in the world.
No kidding. Well, I'm glad that you're happy, by the way. And how about... Okay, I don't know this. How about Mark? Are you guys roomies? Has he got his own place out there? What's the deal between the two of you?
So Mark was actually in Hawaii for about 2 months, and I think that was the longest, actually, for both of us we've ever stayed put, which was kind of weird, but I'm enjoying it, getting a routine. But Mark was in Hawaii, and I think he just got to California. He spends most of his time in California, but he definitely has a room here at this house.
What do snowboarders do in the summertime? I mean, because it's for me, and for those that don't know, you do. Your dad was my driver's ed instructor, and he was a star with the Milestone Flyers, number 4 on the blue line. So I followed you guys since you were tiny, and the guys were saying that you trained in the water for snowboarding because there's really no hills here. So what's summer training like for snowboarders? Is that still in the water, or how do you do it?
Well, luckily enough, like, if obviously the pandemic wasn't going on, we would have been in the States, and up here at Whistler, there's glaciers that open up, so you can ride for a few weeks during the summer, and then obviously it's New Zealand and Australia's winter, so we'd go down there for at least a month. And if you can't go down there, you go down to Chile, that southern hemisphere. So we'd be doing all of that, but Australia and New Zealand have locked down their borders for the next year. That's what they've said. So that's definitely out of the question. So I think the really only option to get on snow is going to be in Chile or Argentina. So maybe that in late fall. But other than that, it's just kind of stay in shape. Yeah, that's about it. That's all you can do. We did do a lot of wakeboarding growing up, as you mentioned. But I mean, now that the level we're at, it doesn't really translate anymore. Right. When you're first beginning, it definitely helps. But now it's not.
How many countries have you visited in your life with this career?
That's a great question. I was actually thinking about that the other day. It's so weird not to have a trip planned. You know, you get home, okay, I got a week or maybe 10 days or something like that. Then I know I'm going here. Then I know I'm going here. Now it's just like, hang out, I guess. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So I think I've been to probably, 40 countries maybe. That's including obviously all the Olympics and stuff like that. Like Brazil, I probably wouldn't have gone to, or South Korea, I wouldn't have gone to just in my normal snowboarding career, but with the Olympics and those kind of gigs, I've got to see another side of the world.
That's pretty cool. We were walking off Deer Valley yesterday, and our partner Tyler's like, "Do you want to do this in another 2 weeks?" I'm like, "Let me check. I'm free." So you get it. By the way, from one of our viewers, Janelle, she says, "There's nothing like watching snowboarding and hearing Craig's commentary. He's really the best, and so proud of our local McMorris boys." From Alan the intern, one of our interns. Is he our only intern? Do we have more?
Correct.
Yeah. The Asian sensation.
There is only one.
He says, "Hey, Mr. McMorris, what was your most memorable broadcasting moment?"
Ooh, that's a great question. That is a really good one. The most memorable one, the first time I ever broadcast was at the Olympics in 2014. It was kind of like a baptism by fire, You're just in this little tin can. It's you and Rob Snook, my commentating partner, who is he just guided the way for me and really took me under his wing. But you're just in this tin can and you're talking and you're getting so excited, but you're not really getting anything back. You know what I'm saying? Like I've done a lot of live stuff, and you give a lot of energy, and the crowd will give it back. But when you're commentating, it's just you and your partner. But then you go on social media after, and you see all the people that were watching, and all those funny things, and all that kind of stuff. That was one of the coolest and like most memorable broadcast experiences for me, because no matter what, you're talking to a lot of people. So I think I'll never forget that one. I also got to say, I'm sorry. How's Deer Valley? I haven't played that track in a while.
It's absolutely gorgeous. It was green from the moment it opened 2 weeks ago. They're still doing that. I don't know about you guys out there, but it's every 12 minutes they're teeing people off. It's 12, right, Darren?
Yeah.
So it's spaced out. So yesterday was a 65K win, Craigor. So we pretty much had the course to ourselves. Yeah, I know. I'm sure you missed that on the prairies. By the way, Tyler Dacu, our social media advisor, obviously you know him. He writes in and says, Craigor Bear,
yeah.
You're really filling out that Lululemon polo. What's the daily fitness routine looking like these days?
Tyler Dacu, shout out to you. Hope you're well. I have been working out. So we have a trainer, Damien Maroney. He works at Portia Sports Center in Burnaby, BC. He has been with us forever. And when I say us, Mark and myself, and we have been doing Zoom workouts. So he'll jump on Zoom at around noon. We'll jump on there, do an hour-long workout. Because I don't know about you guys, but I have probably the worst will. Like if I'm working out by myself, I'll have 3 sets. I'll be like, 2's probably pretty good. So I need somebody to keep me accountable. And Damien's been keeping me accountable. And then Mark's on the other end. And we're chirping back and forth. So that's kind of been our workout situation. But I've never been a big weights guy. I'm always playing tennis or skateboarding or going on the lake or basketball or something like that. I find I just try so much harder and work so much harder. And also, Tyler, here's another tip. Just size down in the shirt. It makes you look way stronger.
Well, by the way, I find you either love weights or love cardio. I don't know a lot of normal people that love both. I hate weights. I'm with you, but I don't need a trainer because those guys in the gym look like they're getting hurt by those guys. So I'll do my 45, 60 minutes on the machine, watch SportsCenter, and get on with my day. A couple more questions, then I'll let you go. From Nelson.
No.
Is there an internal struggle to keep a level commentary when Mark does well in competition? What's it like broadcasting when your brother's competing?
It's definitely, I wouldn't even say with Mark. It's just your friends, You want to see your friends do well. Like, I want to see my brother do well. I want to see Ståle Sandbeck, like a great friend of mine from Norway. All these guys do well. So you're almost pulling for everybody. That's the other really good the blessing of that commentating job is you're snowboarding against yourself, really. You're trying to do the absolute best run you can. You don't see somebody do a run and then you're like, I'm just going to try and maybe one-up them, because it's a judged sport. You kind of have to go for it all if you want to be on the top spot. So you're kind of pulling for everybody to land. You don't want to see people fall. So I think that's definitely helped me. But there are times when your voice goes a little bit too high or you get a little bit too excited when you see somebody land a trick. But I think I've done a pretty good job. You guys tell me if I had there.
I think Canadians would expect that you'd get a little excited.
Oh, yeah.
The announcers do for all the other sports when you're broadcasting for the CBC. But, some people don't want it. Some do. Obviously, I like it. I'm the biggest homer of all time. By the way, Craig, with the McMorris event that you guys started just last year, was it not last year? It was last year was your first, right? What's the plan?
No, 2 years ago. Last year was our second. This would have been our third year, yeah.
Yeah, so what's the plan with that?
So we obviously had to put it on hold because we were going to do it earlier this year. Last year it was in July. We wanted to do it a little bit earlier, and that would accommodate some of the celebrity schedules. But unfortunately, obviously, with the pandemic going on, we can't do that. I know that we're going to try and do something maybe later this year. If not, we'll have to do it next year. But we really love the summer event. For previous years, we'd always be doing that gala at Christmas time. But the summer event hit really hard, and we raised a lot of funds for something that we think needs a lot of funds. So we're definitely going to do it next year. That's for sure. But I don't know about this year. Still talking about it.
Up to be determined, as they say.
TBD.
All right. Well, yeah, all right. Well, be sure to let us know, Craig. Keep in touch and stay safe. Looks like you're doing okay. We'll let everybody here in your home province know that. And hope to chat with you soon.
Thanks so much for having me on the program. I can't wait. Let's do it again, guys.
You bet, buddy. Craig McMorris, snowboarder extraordinaire, CBC Olympic broadcaster, as you heard. X Games, of course. All of it. Appreciate the time.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.